Hi friends, it's Kristen. I want to share with you one of my favorite tools, which is the Rapid Prep Mandoline. It does so much that you just have to see it to believe it. So this is the Rapid Prep Mandoline. This is folded up for storage. I wanted to show that to you first. It really doesn't take up that much room in your kitchen. And I find with all that it does, it is worth any storage space. But then when you get ready to use it, just take this top part off, pull this open, has little suction cups on the bottom, so it's gonna really stay stuck onto your countertop or whatever you're cutting on. Has this little catcher, and that's gonna catch all the food that you are slicing, and has this little food chute. So right here on the front, you got this little button here, blade cover, slide that down. This just keeps the blade covered so that when it's in storage, you don't have to worry about cutting yourself. But that blade, even if it is open, is closed and contained, and so it's really not dangerous in storage, but just a little extra safety. Anyway, put your food chute on here, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna be pushing the food in here. Have a little pusher when you get to the blade, because you certainly don't want to put your fingers in there. And then the way this works is you just twist this. This is your blade, your cutting piece, and as you pump the handle, food's going in here, you're gonna pump the handle, and that is what's going to slice it. So you notice your hands are not running the food across the blade. It's not very dangerous, whole lot safer than a traditional mandolin. And then all the food comes out here. So the other thing that I wanna show to you is what I'm gonna show you in person is these two dials here give you 24 different settings for cutting. So I think that's a little bit of overkill, but I am gonna show you, not every single one, but I'm gonna kind of show you the variety of cuts that you're gonna get with this. So basically this first top dial, you can see there's some little symbols here. One is for slicing, and that is, again, just slicing tomatoes, onions, cucumbers, whatever you wanna do. And you're gonna get a really thin shaved cut all the way to 1/4 of an inch. And that difference in thickness comes from this bottom blade here. This goes from 1 to 8, which is from 1 millimeter, which is your shaved. Think about potatoes as I'm gonna do today, shaved, maybe you wanna fry them for homemade potato chips, all the way to an 8, which is gonna be about 1/4 of an inch cut, so that you can do maybe scalloped potatoes, or maybe you're slicing tomatoes for a burger and you want a nice thick cut, you can do it with that. So that's slice. Then you have what's called a fat julienne, which is like your French fry cut, and it has the 1 to 8 for thickness. And then there is a skinny julienne, which is like a matchstick style cut, again, 1 to 8. So I'm gonna kind of give you a little preview of everything that it does. This really, know that it's gonna slice everything from soft tomatoes all the way to hard sweet potatoes and everything in between. So kind of whatever you need to slice, whatever kind of shape you need, this is gonna do it for you. So I've just got potatoes here, and we're gonna start with slicing. So I've turned the dial to slice, and I'm gonna go to 1 first so that you guys can see the shaved. So we're gonna go just a couple really, really nice thin, and I'll lay these all out for you, but look at how nice and thin those are. And the thing is with this, that no matter what you're slicing is going to be evenly sliced. So no matter what you're cooking, so if you're gonna fry these, they're all gonna cook evenly. If you're gonna bake them or you're gonna roast them, whatever, everything is gonna cook evenly. So let's move to a 4, which is about halfway through, again, 1 to 8. So I'm gonna do a couple of slices. And you can see how we're getting a little bit thicker there. And again, I'm gonna lay these all out for you so you can see them. And now we're gonna go ahead and let me get that last piece out of there so it didn't go through. And then we're gonna do an 8, which is gonna be your thickest slice. And at this point, I'm using the food guard because I don't wanna put my fingers near the blade. And there you go, there's our thickest slice. So let me lay these out here so that you can see exactly what these look like. Okay, so here are our slices. So we have it on a 1, super duper thin. We have it on a 4, little bit thicker, and then on the 8, which is the thickest. So you can see the difference in that. And think about whatever. This could be cucumber slices, zucchini slices, tomato slices, whatever. So there you go. Now, the fun part, and that is the julienne slice. So julienne, I always say there's a fat julienne and a skinny julienne. The fat julienne is like your French fry cut. So let's do like a perfect French fry. We're gonna go to fat julienne, and we're gonna go to the 8, and that's gonna give you like a perfect square. So let's go ahead and get a couple of fries cut here. Look at that. Look at that. That is like the perfect French fry. And let me put our other slices off to the side. I'm gonna lay these out so you can see them. So we have, that is the fat julienne on an 8, give you like a perfect square, but we can go ahead and adjust that down to say a 4, and you're gonna get the same thickness You're gonna get the same width on that, but you're gonna get half as thin. So let's go ahead and do a couple of those slices. Here we go. Hold these up for comparison. Hope you guys can see that from the camera. So here's the 8 thick square. We have the same thickness, but half as wide. And now we're gonna go to a 1. Let me get these all out of the way here. And next we're gonna do the fat julienne on a 1 so that you can just see the thinnest slice that you're gonna get with that. Look at that. Those are like really super thin, right? Okay, so let me lay these out so you can see again the comparison of what you're gonna get. So on the fat julienne, you got the 8, your perfect French fry. You got something a little thinner. Maybe this might be like hash browns or something. And then super duper thin. I'm not quite sure what you'd use that for, but hey, you know what? You got the tool. You can be creative and you can figure things out. So that is the fat julienne. Next, we're gonna go to what I call the skinny julienne, which is more of a matchstick style cut. Get all those out of there. So it's gonna be half the thickness of that fat julienne. And let's start with 8, just so we can get some comparisons. Look at that. Isn't that cute? That's like a little matchstick thing. So here's our fat julienne and our skinny julienne on the 8 setting. And again, you can adjust that for thickness. Now, if you like what I like, kind of like a starting point with the skinny julienne is the skinny julienne and a 4. That's going to give you a perfect little, matchstick smaller cut. Hope that's making sense to you. But I love this little cut. If you want like little skinny French fries, there you go. So here's our fat French fry. Here's our skinny French fry. And then of course we can move this to a 1 and get a really nice shave as well. So let's get that out of the way. And there you go. I mean, that could be some really good hash browns, I guess, if you will, too. So there's all kinds of settings. And like, I honestly probably have not even used all the settings, but it's kind of nice to know that I have it at my fingertips no matter what I'm doing. So slices, I think you can figure that one out. But with the julienne, I either do the fat julienne on the 8. That's a perfect French fry. I make lots of French fries with my air fryer. Or I'll do the skinny julienne on the 4. That's the perfect little skinny one. And that's like, if I'm doing like a stir fry and I want like a matchstick style carrots and peppers and things like that, it's really good for that. So those are kind of my starting points. And then from there, be creative, have fun with it, play around with it, and figure out what settings you like best. But this is going to be super handy in your kitchen. You're going to love how evenly it slices everything. And it's just fun to play with. Happy cooking!